few weeks ago, me and my friends did a podcast on the Sinners Only podcast talking about cringy Christian content. And part of that discussion was just to highlight that Christian content creators can do better. There are really, really good things out there, and some of them are really just terrible. I think the overall theme that takes over Christian TikTok is that there are tons of young Christians that are talented and gifted, and they're doing what they're doing, but it can really be off-putting sometimes. And to be honest, I do believe that these creators mean well, but what's the overall motive and the intention for what you're doing? Like, is your content to edify people? Is it to go viral? Like, what exactly is the intent of the content that you create? Do you actually want to use your platform to serve other people, to help people know Jesus? Or do you want clout and fame and clicks? Like, is that the goal? And I'm not assuming bad motives on anyone. I think it's, we're out here, we're in the content world, we're in the social media world. It is what it is. But I do want to highlight something really, really interesting. On our podcast, my friend Noah, who is a Christian manga artist, said something really, really, I thought was probably prophetic.
I mean, if I came into a convention looking like the Pope, being like, you sinning, you got to put on some clothes. Here's a Bible for you. Like, get that blunt out your mouth. Now they ain't smoking in there, but I'm just saying, like, it's like whatever they doing up in there is like flipping over convention tables because like there's like hentai on it or something. I can't, like, I'm gonna get kicked out and I'm gonna look crazy. And
Now he said that this wouldn't be helpful for people in the anime cosplay community because it can end up closing people off from Christ and really seeing how much they really need him. Ironically, I came across a TikTok of a video doing just what Noah said he would not do. So it's a Christian guy on Christian TikTok who I believe he does poems and he does them in public. And in this particular video, he decides to go into an anime convention and do these poems.
Dear God, I'm sorry for the people in my generation. They idolize the characters they see in animations. Lust is in the air. Morals disappear, self-respect is gone, and the world is pure despair. People chase desires, people are just liars, but people do not know they'll be burning in your fires. I want all the wisdom I can possibly acquire. I don't have an idol, you're the one that I admire. Dear God, you have the greatest title, the truth is in the Bible. The leaders of this world will bow down to your arrival. Your love to me is vital, and I'm a true disciple. Jesus bless this video, and please make it go viral.
Now, I agree with everything that he has been saying. I think there is a idolization problem of anime characters in the anime community, but an idol is something that you worship in place of God. And I don't think that dressing up as your favorite anime character or your video game character is considered idolization. I think we're getting it mixed up here. But I do think that it's a real thing. Like, we all have idols in our own heart, right? If we believe that anything else can save us except God, if we think that anything else that can sustain us and motivate us and move us and we can have peace from that thing, most likely that thing is an idol, right? But just to assume that if you go to an anime convention that idolization or people are dressing up as their idols is a thing, you're just assuming. You're not really asking questions. I think it's important to probably ask questions in environments like that, right? Especially ones that are hostile to the Christian faith. Dang, I'm definitely going to get canceled for talking about this. Lust is a real thing. And at the anime convention, the intention to do that is there. Because some cosplay outfits and anime characters and anime in general, it can be mad scandalous. And if you go to an anime convention knowing that there will be scandalous outfits, you probably shouldn't go. You probably should avoid it. It's not good for you. Get out of there. Run. Flee youthful passions. You don't need it. But if we're being honest, you probably shouldn't go to the beach. You probably shouldn't go to the gym. You probably shouldn't go to the airport. You probably shouldn't go to the grocery store, the park, because temptation is in the air there as well. Now, my thought watching this video is that I wonder how cringy it is for the people that are dressed up and they're having this poem be read and they're told that they're going to be burning in fire. I wonder if they were caught off guard by it. Did they know it was happening? Did they know it was coming? Because this is kind of wild, right? I think I would be weirded out, or I would be offended if someone just like stood in front of me, asked to do a poem, and then at the end of the poem, you're telling me I'm going to hell because I don't worship God. And you might not even know the person, right? Like if someone came up to me and did that, but they didn't know that I have a relationship with Jesus, I know Jesus, that I worship Jesus, like I want to fulfill the Great Commission as He commands us to. And someone came up to me and was like, "Yeah, you're not like me. Everyone's just doing their own thing, but I really want you. I'm a true disciple." What are we talking about? Like, come on now. Like, what? Like, it's kind of cringy. This isn't an attack on his character or even in the video. I mean, he got what he wanted because that John definitely went viral on TikTok. I mean, good job. Like, but at what cost, though? If we're doing things like this, we're playing into the stereotype that people who aren't Christian already think about us. Self-righteous hypocrites. And I'm not saying that's what this guy is, but I think this could have been done in a way more shrewd and winsome way. I have a Bible verse that I believe puts it in perspective for how to win people or help people see Christ in various different contexts, right? And I think in the anime community, in a community that doesn't really want Jesus or some more hostile, that I think is needed to be shrewd and know who you're dealing with and know who you're talking to. Because videos like this often are off-putting to the anime community. And if we're keeping it in the buck, right? I'm not going to put the picture here, but in your profile pic, like you have your shirt off, right? So you come off hypocritical. And I think that's what blows up the bridge when you're saying this stuff. But then you got, a whole, 12 pack in your profile picture. Like what we doing? 1 Corinthians 9:19-23 says, "Though I am free and belong to no one, I have made myself a slave to everyone to win as many as possible. To the Jews, I became like a Jew to win the Jews. To those under the law, I became like one under the law, though I myself am not under the law." That's a bar. "So as to win those under the law, to those not having the law, I became like one not having the law. Though I am not free from God's law, but I am under Christ's law. So as to win those not having the law, to the weak I became weak. To win the weak, I have become all things to all people, so that by all possible means I might save." What's that word? Some. "I do this all for the sake of the gospel." So we see in this verse that Paul used his freedom to relate to the people around him, his Jew or Greek, in order that these people would end up seeing Christ and believe in the good news of the gospel. This is one of the verses that I try to navigate anime relatable around, because there are tons of people in the world watching anime at this very moment. People are connecting to these stories, and there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason why people dress up as their favorite anime characters, video game characters, because they resonate with these characters or they enjoy these characters, and that can literally be used as an apologetic to help people understand what they really need is Christ. What they really need is Jesus. Ecclesiastes, it says that God has placed eternity into every man's heart. But because we're sinful people, we're always trying to fill that hole in our heart, that God-sized hole in our heart, with other things. In the anime community, that's reality. You're filling, like, people are filling their hearts with things that are they're okay, they're good, but they ultimately won't give them fulfillment and meaning and purpose and value. Inherently they have value as humans, right? But what's ultimately the purpose is to be in a relationship with the God who made them. Honestly, I don't think this would have been a big deal if the gospel was given, or some nuggets of the gospel were even given to the people he was, talking to and sharing the poem with. Like, in my opinion, the video made it seem like he was just sharing how he wasn't going to hell and how he is forsaking the things that these other cosplayers aren't, looking for, and for love for God, and that's great, and I love that. But you probably blew up a whole bunch of bridges from that. I don't know, man. Just be wise to people that you talk to, and Christian content creators. Like, hear me. I'm not an authority or anything. You have way more influential people to listen to, but be wise in the content that you create. Right? Like, if your whole means and the whole reason behind you making your Christian content, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, is for the sake of winning people, but you're doing things like mocking and ridiculing them, you're probably not going to be as successful reaching the people that you want to reach doing these things, right? And honestly, it's cool. Say you want to do stuff for clout. That's okay, right? But that's whatever. But I think at the end of the day, you're missing the ultimate purpose for why we were created to do things in why we were created in the first place, right? We were created first to be in a relationship with God and to serve other people. And I think Jesus brings that out when we place our faith in him. But I mean, I don't know if you're doing content like this, if the goal is for you to give entertainment to Christians, cool. I would be advised that the entertainment doesn't really help you that much when you have an unbeliever come across your page. You kind of just put yourself in this little bubble of people championing you on because you're around people that don't believe in the same thing as you. I don't know. I'm off script right now. Well, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know what your reaction is to this. Am I tripping? Am I overreacting? This is in no way an attack on this person or whatever. I'm sure they make great content, but I think with me and a couple other Christian content creators, like they reacted to this and they were just like, yeah, this is kind of cringy, right? And I don't know, maybe he has a lot of followers on TikTok, and if you see this, cool, we can have a conversation. I would love that. I'm all for that, right? But I think it could have definitely been done better. But anyway, I don't know nothing. See ya.